What's up, YouTube? YouTube, what's up? It's your girl M. Williams. And I've been kind of loving the whole look of the crochet tribal braids. With the tribals in the front and then the crochet braids in the back. That's been looking so cute. So here I am doing this. Client of mine, beautiful client. I love this stuff right here, you guys. It smells like Kool-Aid too. But anywho, this Georgia Tech graduate brainiac engineer right here. So, like I said, I'm doing the crochets in the back. I'm adding a little hair right here, little bit of braiding hair, simply because the nape of her neck, the hair is a little bit shorter back there. So I'm using a little bit of braiding hair just so I can strengthen that area back there and make that foundational braid, stronger. Excuse my little cheap wig I got on, $30. But anyway, so braiding up the foundation for the crochet braids. Um, and I like the whole tribal crochet look with the half and half, the back crochets. I took the front part that's going to be the tribal, I took it a little bit further back because her perimeter, or as we like to call her edges, they're a little bit frail. So they're a little bit weak and a little bit shorter. So you're going to see when I start doing the feed-in braids, the tribal part in the front, you're going to see that I leave a lot of her perimeter in the front of the edges out rather, so I can use, to make some baby hair, just so I won't have to braid that up and add more pressure to that hairline. Don't want to do that. So I'm just continuing to braid up for the crochet. Sorry for being all in your way. Sometimes when you're recording, it's kind of hard to tell if you're in the way. So I just take the end of the braid and just connect it in with that other cornrow braid. Continuing to braid up that foundation for the crochets. And I'm trying to do more videos, trying to add more, full service in here. It's just about finding a client who doesn't mind, being on a video. Also, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Please, I'm trying to build up my page. And when you like, that kind of makes the algorithms, increase. And it ends up making more people want to subscribe. So please like my videos. I'm trying the best. I was working out of 2 locations going into 2022. As soon as I get into 2022, I'm going to be 1 location only. Because working in 2 locations, 2 salon suites, first of all, that's very expensive. Even though I didn't have any problem paying at all, it wasn't that. It's just that having 2 locations, I ended up a lot of times working 7 days a week. And I've been married 18 years, so it's kind of hard it's a challenge to be able to cook, clean, do all the other things that I need to do as a wife when I'm always working. So 2022, I'm going to have my one location. It's going to be in Swanee, Georgia, which is North Atlanta. And focusing on one location will help me as well. And to balance out my life, my work life. Also, it will allow me to offer more services. There's other things that I do too, like makeup, photography, um, lashes, brow waxing, facial waxing. I do all that, strip lashes, 3D lashes, mink lashes, individual lashes. I'm already experienced with that. So I look forward to next year so that I can have more balance in my life and my work-life balance. Cook more and do the things we need to do. Because being a hairstylist, sometimes it's a lot. You get really, really busy, and sometimes, it's hard to balance that life out. So I went on the other side because when I go on the other side, then I can connect. Because I don't like that last plait on the end. See that plait hanging? So if you start off on one side, then you go on the other side and start braiding. Then see how I can connect that plait. And so you won't have that one plait on the end there. So I'm going to end up having it where there's no plait. So just continuing to braid down her foundation. Didn't add any other hair. I just added hair to the first initial braid that wrapped around the nape of the neck because her nape was a little shorter. And so this is my final braid right here, cornrow, and it's one plait left, and it's about in the middle of the head. I'm showing you guys that you need to drink water. Here I am. I try to drink tons of water. I used to not drink enough water. Now I drink a lot, so I'm just showing you guys a foundation. So that one plait that's sticking out, I tuck it in and then I latch hook it in as well. So I'm tucking it underneath each. Now I'm latch hooking it in just to make sure it stays. There you go. This is the hair I'm using. Sorry I'm in you guys' way. But pretty much just latch hooking, crocheting this hair. Latch hook is a pretty simple method. Usually when I loop the hair and knot it, I loop it through 4 times. I always do 4 times. And with a tighter curl pattern like this, you can get away with 3 loops, but I always do 4. That's just a preference of mine. That's what I prefer. Because I don't want any client having to come back or saying something slid out or anything like that. Never. So you always want to make sure that it's definitely secure because clients don't have time to come back in, and they shouldn't have to come back in, number one. And then number two, I stay so busy, I really don't have the additional time to revisit a style that I've already done. So I make sure that I do what I need to do when the client's in the chair. So loop 4 times and then just pull it tight. That knot will secure it. And I'm kind of going up with the latch hook because it's a certain way I want the hair to lay. Every hairstylist is different. Every hairstylist do things differently. And I'm a licensed stylist here in Georgia, in North Atlanta, in Swanee. Just continuing. You see how I'm going up with the latch hook. I'm going to make it really full. I actually used almost 3 packs of hair, believe it or not, just for the back of her head. And I bought 3 packs, but I think I had I think I used like 2.5 packs though. I didn't use the whole 3rd pack. Yeah, I just used like 2.5. And this is a water wave, which is the name of the curl pattern. I wanted to use something a little bit tighter curl because I know that the tighter the curl pattern is, the bigger the look is, the bigger the hair will look. And I kind of wanted that big look, that fullness in the back with the tribals. And the tribals, the feed-in tribals that I did in the front, I didn't make them real small. They're actually different sizes. I think I made about, I think 6 braids on each side. Either 5 or 6, so you guys will see. So just continuing, and you see how it's already getting full. And see, if it was a looser curl, it wouldn't even be looking this full at this point. So with it just being half of the head, I definitely wanted it to look bigger. That's the look I was going for. Now, if you're looking to go for something not as full in the back, then you only have to use a looser curl pattern. This is a tighter curl pattern. It's called Water Wave. And so you guys will see that it looks full. Full, full, full. Continuing to make my way up to the crown. Yep. So I kind of turned her around really quick just so she can see what it's looking like. To me, as a hairstylist, it's very important that the client, get the look that they like. Even though they may have picked that look, I still want to make sure they're okay with the service. So that was just me just cutting the little rubber band off so I can access some more of this crochet braid hair. Here we go. Like in the middle of the head now, so I'm like almost halfway done in the middle. So the braid pattern, you probably wonder, why did I do the straight down as opposed to the circle? It's kind of a personal preference, but the straight down, like if you do the straight down, like when you do put a latch hook, a piece of hair at the very top of the braid, you really can't see the braid. So that's the reason that I did it this way. And you can do a circle, but I think for this look, I preferred just to do the braids straight down. The cornrows, the foundation, straight down with straight down cornrow braids. I think, I didn't count them, but I think I put like 7 braids. We're at the end of the year, believe it or not. I'm just tired. I know I sound tired making this video. So if you wonder what my shirt says, it just says live strong. That's Lance Armstrong. My husband used to be a cyclist, so got a lot of live strong stuff and a lot of stuff cycling. So when you're doing the crochet braids, if you want the hair to look even longer, you don't have to do it midway. You can leave one side of the hair a little bit shorter, and that'll make the end look longer, and that's what I was kind of doing. I don't know if you noticed, but see. that's how you can make the hair look even longer. I like the whole water wave look because it does look kind of like natural hair. And it gives you a very full look if that's what you want. And since I'm just doing half a head, just the back of the head, I want to go with the fullness. So I'm continuing to make my way to the other side. Kind of clip that hair out the way, the finished hair, 'cause since it's so much hair. I kind of use my little clip to clip it out the way so it won't be all in the way. And this is just me prepping some more hair. Sometimes I spray water on it because I find sometimes it's a little easier to separate. And with this tightly curled hair, sometimes you can try to separate it and you'll be fighting against the hair. Like it'll be kind of a challenge to separate it. And then you don't want it to get all fuzzy and all frizzy. So the best way to separate it, you can spray a little water on it. And then if you catch it in the middle like that, like I'm doing, and then you pull it apart very slowly. I got the video sped up, but really I'm pulling it really slow. If you pull it apart slowly, it'll come loose. You'll be able to separate it, with no problem at all. And like I said, some brands of crochet hair, you have to it's kind of a challenge to separate it. So just get you a spray bottle and put you some water in the spray bottle. And you can maybe add a couple of little squirts of conditioner, any kind of conditioner. Not a lot, just maybe a squirt or two. And just spray it on the hair. It'll make it a little easier to separate. That's a trick of the trade that I learned. Now I'm in the front. And you see how I left her edges out because I didn't want to braid that up in there. Even though it looks like a lot of hair, it's not. It's very soft, very fragile and fine. So I didn't want to put it into the braid. So I'm using it to make baby hair. So I'm just doing the feed-ins. I made 2 small feed-ins. And then as I go up to the top of her head, I'm making the braids bigger. And actually, I put 5 braids on each side. So I made the first braid kind of small, second one a little bit bigger, and then third one bigger. And, tribal braids, you can kind of do whatever kind of look you want. If you want all small braids or if you want, all big braids or, some people, they come in, and you can get a refresh on the front part only. Some people do that because, the crochet braids ain't going nowhere. They'll still be there. So sometimes if the client just want me to do the tribal part, the front part over, I'll do that and leave the back in place. See? So I'm moving that baby hair out the way and then I'm going to the next braid. Now I've already parted, section her hair off in the middle of her head. And when I was looking to do that, actually, see, her hair just kind of fell in the middle because she says she parts it in the middle a lot. But sometimes it can be a challenge, just parting in the middle, especially on natural hair. So you have to try a few times. But some clients, they part their hair, they wear it parted in the middle a lot. So it just falls right in the middle when you try to part it. So I'm just doing all the prep work, doing feed-in braids. There's a lot of prep work with the edge control and stuff because you're dealing with natural hair and you want it to look as sleek as possible. And so usually I start with my feed-in braid. I go ahead and start braiding the client's hair. Now, and then I add, probably on my second, rotation or whatever you like to call it, that's when I start adding the braiding hair. Now, the only time I add braiding hair to that first is like right at the beginning when I start braiding. The only time I add hair is if their hair is kind of thinner in the front. And so that's why I added hair in that first braid, if you didn't notice. So I'm continuing to plait up just the end of the braid, that's all. So I think the braid end up being about the length of the crochet. So I'm in your way again. But basically with my feed ends, I, I section it off, and then the section that I'm going to use as a feed end braid, I split that in the middle, and then I put some, usually some type of edge control gel or something. The softer gel, whichever you prefer, like Shining Jam or something. Just to help lay that hair down, especially natural hair. And her hair is actually really thick. It's just around her perimeter hairline in the front and in the back. That's a little bit more fragile, but the rest of her hair is super thick. So this feed in, like I said, as I go up to the top of the head, I'm making the feed in braids a little bit bigger. So I'm just plaiting it down. Then I'm going to start on that other side. Then I always go back in when I'm completely done with feed in braids. I always go in and add some more edge control just to make sure everything is laid down really nice and neat like it should be. See, like I'm doing now, that's what I'm doing. And I know I'm in your way, but I'm pretty much just polishing it, making it look neater. See, I'm already done on that side. Showing her hair again just to make sure she likes it. I'm big on that, whether I'm doing regular hair or braids. And I've been doing hair a long time. I stopped doing hair for many years and was in corporate. So that section there that I parted in the middle, I was going to put a little bitty, small, little mini cornrow braid going in the middle, that whole tribal look, but then I decided not to, so that's why I kind of left it alone and went on the other side. So I know you can't see me on this side, but I just did the same thing, and I just keep checking just so I can try to get both sides, to be kind of uniform. So I'm just running around, just had to get some more hair. Here we are, finished. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see how. It's a little bit hard to see. And then I put her under the dryer, but I didn't let the mousse dry all the way. So I'm sure tomorrow when she slept on it and everything, it'll look even neater. So you see the crochet braids, the water wave hair. Like I said, I use 2.5 packs. Isn't she beautiful, you guys? 2.5 packs, and I think it's like 18 inches long, the hair. I'm all in the way, and it's so much shadows and stuff. She just basically saying, I asked her, did she like her hair? She said, yeah. That's basically all we're chatting about. Oh, yeah. So one thing about crochet braid hair, you guys, sometimes it can seem tangly. Look at this finished look. Beautiful. Here I am, you guys. Swanee, Georgia, one location now. This is how you reach me. See.